what are called, so those things yesterday, whatever we discussed was about class and object. So the two, we discussed only about one component, that was class. And in that I said class is called element, and the class is called user defined data type. Class is collection of data members, member functions, and properties. That's nothing but called fields, methods, and properties. All together they are called members. Members can be all three in a class, or any two in a class, or any one in a class, or sometimes nothing in a class. And then we discussed that we are going to study about different types of classes or different categories of classes. And then in that also I gave you a list of things that I'm going to cover: normal class, static class, sealed class, abstract class, concrete class, partial class, anonymous class, all these types of classes that we are going to study. Initially, we'll discuss only about a normal class, and then we studied about access modifiers, that a class can have class members of a class can be provided with five access modifiers called private, public, protected, internal, protected, internal. So private is default. Then what else we studied? Yeah, that's it. Today we are going to discuss of how an object works, and then we will see internal mechanism of an object, and then we'll see some examples. Fine. First, let's go. Okay. Using system class demo, I write public int a comma b comma c, class program, then public static void main, then here I write demo d equal to new demo constructor. First we will understand what is happening in this line. Okay, now let me elaborate and write what is the complete meaning of that statement, whatever I have mentioned. Demo d equals to new demo. Actually, if you look into this syntax, this demo is class name, this is object, and this is class name. What is the meaning of all this? First, this class name, whichever I have mentioned, it is data type. This is called data type. And then we have object. And this object, which you call as variable. Then new, which works for dynamic memory allocation. This one. And this class name is a call to constructor. So let me describe all of them. First, I said data type, variable, dynamic memory allocation, call to constructor. Yes. First, data type. Data type, variable, dynamic memory allocation, call to constructor. This is how that line is designed. Demo d equal to new demo. right? And second part, especially these 2 points you can see. This is one part, this is one part, and this is another part, another part. This also I'll describe. This part called by one name, and this part is called by one name. What are they? Class name object, that is called object. Right side instance. Declaration, and this new class name becomes instance. Object, declaration of object. Now let's see what is internal happening for this line. Okay, this is stack memory, this is stack, this is heap memory, stack. D is object, D is object, and it will be in where? Stack memory. Stack, and this is heap memory. Heap memory. And then this is under heap memory, this part, whichever I'm drawing. And what is that part? We have three things to allocate memory. A, then memory for B, memory for C. A, memory for B, and memory for C. C. This is memory for B. Yes. And then we have default value in all of them 0. Default value. A value 0. B value 0. C value 0. And this memory will have one address. One address. That address is pointer. Because we don't know what address, how address will be. For that reason, I just refer as by name word pointer. And this pointer will be in D. And indirectly, now D starts pointing to this memory. That's simple. This one line internally does these many things. D variable, because it is in main. D variable, because it is in main, it is under stack. And new demo, when I say, then that memory of heap will be allocated. D will be in stack, members memory will be in heap. And obviously, if I print now, if I print console dot write line d dot a d dot b d dot c, if I write this, what exactly will happen? Default values are printed. And what are the default values? 0, 0, 0. That is what happens. Now you want to store data? Yes. How do you store? Like this. D dot A equals to 10, D dot B equals to 20, D dot C equals to D dot A plus D dot B, and then you have to print that. D dot A, D dot B, D dot C. Now, last statement. First initial, you'll get all three zeros, and last three will display the result. Now, what is the problem with this? What's the problem with this? Problem with this coding is, in this coding process is, we have used to access this ABC compulsory through object you have to access D dot A, D dot B, D dot C, everywhere. Whenever you want to communicate with that member, you have to use access operator. Then only it will allow you to go further. That is what your program does. Internal, this is the process. Now indirectly here these zeros are there, default zeros. This zero is gone. This zero is gone. This zero is gone. And values are stored as 10, 20, 30. 30. 10, 20, 30. So hope you understood me what I was saying, like the problem with this coding. Everything is fine. Everything will work. But problem is what? That to interact with the members, compulsory I have to go with that access operator. The dot D dot A, D dot B, D dot C, every time, every time. To use that, I have to use D dot, D dot. That is the reason the dot is called access operator. And now interesting thing is your program has a class called demo consisting of only fields. Only fields. Now to reduce the interaction of this members every time with dot, you have an alternate. So what I suggest you can take a screenshot of this so that I'm going to continue with second example in the same picture so that I can update this picture in an easy way. You can take a screenshot of this. If you already taken, please update me through chat panel, please. Anand and Srinivas, both. Just type in chat panel so that I'll continue with the second example in it. Oh, sorry. 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Okay, okay. If you're done, then fine. Okay, now second part. Now what I want you to do is alternate way. Let's cancel this code. I'll show you another one. Okay. Hmm. What is another way? Public void show some method I'm writing. And in this method, I'll say equal a equal 17, b equal 10, c equal a plus b, console dot write line a concatenate b concatenate c. Yes. And if you notice one simple point in this program, method and fields, both of them are in same class. Fields are also in the same class. Method is also in the same class. So for that reason, now because we are using them within the class, you don't need to have what? Access operator. Direct, I can say direct. Now I'll say class program. Then I'll say public static void main demo. D equals to new demo constructor d dot show. You're interested to print outside also, that is also fine. D dot a concatenate d dot b concatenate d dot c. Yes, close the block, close that. Now what is internal happening for this code? Internal. What is happening for this code now? Let's see now. Object or instance. Object or instance. Now what is picture updation? What is picture updation? Here 10 will go, 17 will come, 20 will go, 17 will come. Values which are upgraded. Here 20 is gone. Here 30 is gone. Values 17, 10, 27. Seventeen, 10, 27. Show. It's a method now. Same picture. You'll have memory allocation for it. For show. Yes, this is memory for show. Yes, this is what happens when you go with this code. An interesting thing of this total program is this d dot show when you're writing, it's actually called method call, or method call is general terminology. Technical word is message passing. Calling a method for execution, it is called method call or it is called message passing. Yes. This is the internal working process of your OOPS related class and object. This is what internal happens. You can take a screenshot of this also. second scenario. Now I want to conclude one point in this total example. One point. What is it? These are my members in class demo, and both are created with public access modifier. Both. So, and now remember, public is accessible outside the class. Yes, I called show method because it is public, and even I can print fields because they are public. Within the class, they will work, and outside the class also it will work. So I come with one small point here, and that point is members created in a class with public access modifier is members created in a class with public access modifier. Modifier works within and outside a class. Yes, that is what happens if it is public. Where do they work? Within and outside, both I'm saying. Within the class it will work, outside the class. Within class, direct. Outside class, through object. That point also I'll write for your reference. Within class, direct, and outside class through object. Okay, another important thing. Hope you're all following me. You're clear with previous example and the current example both.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
you're clear? Understood what exactly we are trying up? What is happening? Okay. You're clear what is exactly the point is? Okay. And another thing. Now, for example, if I replace these public, if I replace this public with internal access modifier, public is replaced by what? Internal. Internal fields and internal method. Internal fields, internal method. So now remember, what did I do? Public I replace with internal, and I come to a conclusion. As of now, the way public was working, same way internal is going to work. Same way. So I write here, members created in a class with internal access modifier works similar to public access modifier. Difference is noticed at class library. There we find a difference. Since we are not aware of the topic, obviously for us both are same as of now. So now whether you put public or you put internal, as of now they both are same. Definitely you can experience the difference probably in my coming classes when we go further in OOPS concept and when we study about a topic called class library. In that topic you'll get to know. Please take this screenshot also because I replaced public with internal here.
Yes, sir. Taken.
Clearer? Okay. Did you understand here? Public I replaced with what now? Internal. And I didn't change any code. And I clearly said in the second point that public and internal, as of now, they both are same. And you definitely can find the difference of them in a topic called class library. Coming classes, we will discuss about it. Okay? So fine. We'll stop the session here. Next class we'll go with the remaining things of access modifier. And possible tomorrow's class after completing these basics, I'll start off with next topic also, that which you call as kind of parameters. Next topic in OOPS will be kind of parameters. That tomorrow's class.
Sir, what is method overwriting?
No, actually, coming classes method overriding we are going to study three important topics in OOPS. First, method overloading, method shadowing, and method overriding. Three things.
Okay.
Overloading.
Fine, sir, yeah.
Overloading will be part of polymorphism. Shadowing and overriding will be part of inheritance.
Okay. Fine,
So there we'll discuss. Okay. Probably not that lengthy also. Hardly after 3-4 sessions we'll come across with that next topic. Okay. Chalo, right.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
so when are you planning to start this ASP, sir?
Just more 2 sessions so that OOPS part will be over. Then we'll plan out for ASP.
Okay. Timings will be
7 to
the
8.
continuous timings.
Yes. 7 to 8.